Business model innovation is a great opportunity because if you look at the business process services industry, typically it has grown on an FTE-based pricing. And there is an inherent inefficiency built in over there because the more FTEs, it is more revenue for the provider. Whereas today, there are opportunities where you can ask a question, why do we need FTEs to do a particular activity at all? Technology can actually eliminate the FTEs who do the job. So business model innovation is something that the industry can do. And to encourage that, we need to have business models in which pricing is based on per transaction, or pricing could be based on the outcome, which also makes sure that the provider takes a higher amount of ownership and responsibility for the outcome rather than just putting in FTEs. I think clients want innovation in 2 or 3 different areas. So one is process innovation. How can we take them from a baseline process that they currently have and move them to somewhere between where they are and a best-in-class process? Now, not every client can move directly to a best-in-class process because they have their own legacy. And there is a huge opportunity to innovate in the business process. The other area where innovation is possible is technology-led innovation. Self-service is a great example. We have so many customer service centers, but a lot of stuff can be done by self-service. For one of the retail customers, pricing, we've completely made self-service by the merchants so that the whole process of a large back office doing pricing for this customer got eliminated because now the merchants are directly doing the pricing by a click of a button. Straight-through processing in the financial services industry. The third is the business model innovation, where again, models like cloud computing, process as a service, where you pay by the drink, is another opportunity for doing innovation. So I think all of these innovations are possible, but the important thing is the customer needs to be as involved in actually delivering these innovations as the provider is. So it's a teamwork between the customer and provider. The way I look at it is partner-accelerated co-innovation that needs to happen in the industry. TCS has been investing in the cloud quite significantly. And if you look at the cloud, there are 3 layers of the cloud. So there is an infrastructure cloud, which the hardware and network providers are putting together. Then there is an application cloud. That is where service providers like TCS are focused on. And a very good example, we just launched last month the ION business unit for TCS, which addresses the small and medium enterprises where they get application on the cloud, application as a service. Now, this is very relevant for that market segment, which is small and medium enterprises. They are able to reduce their IT costs by not having to put network, not having to put applications for office automation themselves, and they can leverage all of this ION product available on the cloud to do their work more efficiently at a much lower cost, and they're able to have monthly subscription model, which is the key strength of cloud, that you have it on demand or you pay by the drink. And then the third level of cloud is the process on a cloud. And platform BPO is a great example of process on a cloud, which essentially means I have a pre-configured process, like payroll is a great example, where customers can leverage that pre-configured process on a cloud to be able to meet their requirements of payroll. There are other examples. TCS has put cloud or process on a cloud in platform BPO for finance and accounting, for HRO, for supply chain, for analytics, and also in certain verticals. For example, drug safety can be done on a platform. Clinical trials in the pharma industry could be done on a platform. We've put an insurance platform together for closed book life insurance, which is a great example of where cloud can be utilized. So there are multiple uses of the cloud across the infrastructure, application, and process. And we are most excited about the application and process on a cloud. So we're seeing a lot of growth happening in the BPO business of TCS. And primarily, the growth is coming based on the strategy that we have executed. So our strategy has been not only to address the SG&A piece of the customer's business, which has traditionally been what the BPO industry has been doing, finance and accounting, HRO, supply chain. But we've also focused on the cost of goods sold or the core processes of organization. Like for a bank, it is trading and settlement. For a financial institution, it could be treasury functions. For retailers, it could be merchandising, planogramming. So these are core areas of customers where we have been focusing quite heavily, and we see a lot of growth coming from there. 70% of TCS's BPO business today comes from this part of the P&L, if you will, and that has been providing tremendous growth. Another growth engine that we see is the platform BPO that we provide. The third area where we see a lot of uptake from customers is analytics. Customers have so much of information with them. To convert that into business intelligence, identify trend, and do predictive analytics so that they can serve their customers better. They can launch new products faster. They can predict how a particular product will perform in a particular market, are things that customers are looking for. And as a knowledge services provider, having in-depth understanding of the customer's business, we are seeing a lot of uptake on the knowledge services at TCS. I think the question between whether you outsource or you have an internal shared service is an irrelevant question. I think the question is whether you want to standardize your processes, whether you want to consolidate your processes. Do you want to have a global standard process for doing certain activities in the organization? As you expand geographically, do you want to have a global center of excellence for delivering those services? These are the right questions to ask. And once you have the answer, then to determine whether you execute this shared service through internal resources or through a strategic partnership is dependent on how you are able to acquire the best-in-class processes. Do you have the wherewithal? Do you have the competitive advantage in your process? Or are you able to get that competitive advantage faster by going to a strategic provider who already has made investment in best-in-class processes? The second question to ask is, are you going to be able to attract the best talent to do your back-office processing? Or is the provider whose line function is to provide business process services going to be able to attract the best talent? So these are some of the questions that need to be asked to be able to arrive at whether you do it in a captive mode or you do it in an outsource mode. I think this is all about how you leverage global resources and how you are able to take your current processes to the next level of transformed processes.